Hello everybody and welcome back to the Border Corner. Well, apologies, it's been quite a while since I've done the last video. Before I get going with this one, you're probably going to notice I've got a sound sync problem. I don't quite know what happened when I did the video, but somehow in my editing I've managed to detach the sound section of the video from the actual video itself. So I'm trying to match it as best I can. I don't think I've done a very good job, so apologies for that if this is going to be a bit weird. So the reason I've been away for a while, I had some bad news from my specialist consultant, the guy who did my back surgery. He basically said there's nothing else he can do for me, and despite the amount of pain that I'm still in, there's nothing else the back surgeon can do, so I've been referred to see other specialists. So I'm going to have to go and see them. I don't know when that's going to be. The first one I've been told is going to take about a year before I even get seen, so let alone when they start doing anything to help me. But anyway, enough of that. As I say, apologies for being away for a while. I'm going to try and do a bit of a shorter video because health-wise it's not easy for me to spend too much time sitting in the chair out here. But you can see I've got the hens in the Avery next to me. They're molting quite well. Most of them are pretty much done now, I think. I think there's just the odd one or two in there that are still waiting to finish. But they're doing pretty well. In and out, as you can see, a lot of them are in the top part of the cage behind me. The youngsters are doing okay. They're not doing too bad. Apologies again for this sound syncing issue. I do hope it's not spoiling the content. I've had a couple of people ask me about the Avery and how I've got it set up. As you can see, it's about I guess 5 foot, 5'6" tall, and it's in an L shape. It's probably about that wide as well. And attached to it, I've got these breeding cages. So there's 3 double breeding cages. And you can see here that the top one, as I mentioned just now, all the hens are in there at the moment for some reason. Don't know why, but I've got 3 of them, and each of these open on to the Avery itself. And then on the bottom here I've got a single cage. They haven't got a side, so there's free access for the birds from the Avery into these cages. You can see, just see there the gap, the open space, so they can fly freely, and all their food and water is all in these breeding cages, and the birds just fly about. They seem to spend most of their time in this top one, but they regularly fly from the perches in here to the perches on the long perches in the Avery. I mentioned earlier they're nearly through their molt now, most of these guys, so that's a lot of them are in the top because they can fly. I think I've got one left that's in the bottom, and that's nearly finished now, so it won't be too long before I'll be putting all their food in the top and water in the bottom, and it makes sure they get plenty of exercise. So that's the Avery. I've had a few people get in touch with me and ask me what I do for mite control with my birds, and I have to say that, touch wood, I'm not really very superstitious, but I'll touch it anyway. So far I've hardly had any issues with mite at all. I'm sure that they probably are in the bird room, but I certainly haven't seen any. So it's either down to luck or it's down to what I do in terms of my general maintenance and looking after the birds. I can't do a deep clean like most of you guys do, where you get all the birds out. So I have to just do bits and pieces. Each time I clean the birds out, I give them their own kind of deep clean, as it were. And what I use is this Dettol spray. And I use this for the cages, the cage floor and so on. And then for the cage front, I use these Dettol wipes. they're tough, and they can, you can really get a good clean around all of the wire and the pop holes and so on of the birds. Now I don't know whether this is the reason. I don't have I mean, in the breeding season, I attach my nest liners with carbolic soap. I smash up carbolic soap and spread that out on the nest felt and stick the nest liner in. I know some people have said this is a waste of time and it doesn't work. I don't know, I can't comment on that. All I can say is that with what I do, with the treatment I do, it seems to work. Now this time of year I also spray the birds with Frontline. Sorry, not spray the birds, I wipe the birds with Frontline. And that, coupled with carbolic soap in the nest felts and cleaning the cages out with Dettol each time I clean them, I hope that's what makes the difference and gets the birds nice and healthy. As far as the Frontline's concerned, I was told about this some time ago by the chap who I got my first pair of boarders from, my champion friend, and I've done it ever since. So it's kind of a four-pronged attack for me. It's birds get Frontlined, nest felts get stuck in with carbolic soap, spray the cages with Dettol and wipe the cage fronts with Dettol wipes. And I do that with the Dettol, I do that every week when they get cleaned out. So I go through a fair chunk of Dettol, but I do that and I've never seen any mite in the bird room at all. So I can just guess, hope, fingers crossed, whatever you want to say, that's why what I'm doing, that seems to be working. So I think the best thing for me to show you now is this time of year, the birds get treated for 3 consecutive weeks with Frontline, and that's all the birds, that's the youngsters and the adults. And I spray some Frontline into a pot, and then I get a cotton bud and I wipe the cotton bud on the bird's rump. So let's have a quick look at that now. It's probably easier for me to actually show you than try and explain how I do it. So let's have a look at that now. Okay, so here's our guinea pig. This is one of this year's birds. It looks like it's going to be a buff bird, but I'm not 100% sure. They're still molting, so as I said before. So all you do, switch the bird around so sitting comfortably in your hands, tuck the wings below her feather there, and if you blow, I'm trying to get this in the middle of the camera, so apologies if I'm not doing that too well, but as you can see where I'm doing it here, so I'm trying to get it in the camera, just in here, and then wipe the cotton bud with the Frontline on, wipe it on the rump of the bird. If that's not coming out clear enough, let me know, and then I'll do a particular close-up. I'll get my wife to hold the camera, so if you want to see that closer, just let me know. But that's all I do, and then once she's done, they don't like it very much, obviously, they're a bit unhappy, but once it's done, she'll go back in the cage, she'll sulk for a little while, but in 20 minutes, half an hour, she'll be good as gold. So let's put her back. So this is a cockbird, clear yellow, been bred by the best bird that I brought in, the cockbird. Not the best of angles, is it really, to see him, but shaping up, looking quite nice, I think, I hope. This is another one. It's funny actually, this bird looked actually really quite nice a short while ago. I'm just going to throw you up a quick still. As you can see, looks reasonable. And he, not sure yet, gone into the molt, and as usual they look totally different. I'm hoping he's going to turn around for you to get a look at him. There we go. And he doesn't look anywhere near as good as he did before, but I'm hoping that what he showed in nest feather is a sign of things to come, and it'll get better. So that's the second one of the clear yellows. I think this time we've got a self green. No idea on this one yet whether it's a cock or hen. It looks like it's yellow, feathered. Might be a little bit of frosting around the neck, actually, having said that, so it might be a buff. Not sold yet on it. got quite a nice shape, but it's got a bit of splitting on the chest there, but hopefully that'll go as the bird finishes its molt. So that's a self green one that I've bred this year. This time we're looking at 3 parts dark. I think this one's a cockbird. I've heard it tweetering a little bit. Now I say 3 parts dark, but I don't know whether it would actually be classified as heavily variegated. So, but I think 3 parts dark. It's got quite a nice shape. Obviously, it's a little bit distracted with me doing this, which obviously isn't ideal. Trying to use my phone to get a shot without wires in the way, but 3 parts dark. Cockbird, I think. Now we'll finish off. We'll finish off with another clear. I think this one is quite a big bird. I think if she gets up on the perch, I think it's probably a hen, and it's looking like it's a buff. Nice big bird. She's very skittish, so I'm not going to spend too much time here. So that's a quick look at her, which I think is a clear buff hen. I thought I'd just cover a little bit on the bird's diet just quickly, just a bit of an update on them, on where I am and what I'm doing with them. So they're basically getting the normal mixed canary seed, Versalaga mixed canary seed. It's the no rape option that I use, and they all get that. And they all have fresh water, obviously, every day. I'm using the Unico feed products, as I've mentioned before. So I've been able to cut down quite a lot the mixtures that I'm having to put into their water. So I use the starter, the Unico bird, the Happy Bird Unico feed starter, which is clear. I started off with a green one, and this one is clear, but it's a kind of a yellowy colour. And that gets mixed 50-50 with water. I do it at night, and then the next morning it gets mixed in with the bird food, with the soft food along with this. And this is the Muta Excellent. That gets added to broccoli, carrots, which go into the blender and get smashed up. And I also put in there petit pois and sweet corn, which the birds love. And that gets mixed in together with some egg food, and then with the 2 Happy Bird products. It all gets mixed up together. As we're in the molt, all the youngsters get it twice a day. All of the hens and the cocks just get it once a day. I've got 2 cockbirds behind me here, and then over the other side I've got another 4 or 5 cockbirds. So hens and cockbirds, adults, are only getting it once a day, and then all the youngsters get it twice a day. They're going through a lot of stress, aren't they, with the molt? So I kind of decided that I was going to make sure that they had plenty. If they don't like it, or if they've had enough, they'll just leave it. But I'm just thinking that by giving them the most amount as I can, the better it is. This, what I'm showing you now, is the basic Happy Bird Muta product, which is the underlying Happy Bird product that I give them, that they have in the cage all the time. So, and this is what allowed me to cut down what I'm putting in the drinking water. So 3 times a week they have naturalin and glucose. They get that 3 times a week. And the other 4 days a week they just get plain water. And the reason for that is that the other vitamins that they were missing, they're now getting in the Muta, the Happy Bird Muta. So it's really good stuff. I had a few birds when I first put it in that weren't that keen and just kind of ignored it. But then as time's gone on, and it's been in the cages that much more, it's been really easy. When I went away for my recent holiday, it meant that my friend that was looking after them for me, he didn't have to worry about mixing, adding different things to the water and stirring, making sure the birds are getting what they need and so on and so forth. I was able to just say, just give them fresh water all week. And because they've got this happy bird muta in there, they're going to get access to all the vitamins and minerals that they're going to need. So for that week anyway that I was on holiday. So it worked out quite well, really. And I've now got to the stage where some birds, I put in like a top hat drinker amount for each bird, the show cage size. Some of the birds go for it straight away. Some of them have ignored it. But overall, I'd say now I'm probably refilling half of the birds up every week. And then the other birds, it gets for about after 2 weeks. I'm cleaning the dish out anyway because it's probably got loads of bedding gone in there and chips, bits of chipsy and whatnot. So every 2 weeks I throw it out and start again. So I'm pleased to say that all the birds taking it, and I'd really recommend it if you're looking at going down to one of these multi-feed options. I think this product's really good. So so that's Bird's Diet. So the last thing for today, really, I hope you're still with me and you haven't got bored because of all of this sinking issue that I've had. I do apologise again for that. Just wanted to quickly say about the shows that I'm looking at this year. The first show is the Scotland National Bird Club show, which is on the 13th of October. And that's, I think it's Grangemouth, I want to say. I hope I've got that right. So that's, I was actually won Best Novice Border there last year with the 3-part dark cockbird. So I want to go back there this year and have another go up there. It's only in its third year. Its first attempt at running the show had to be cancelled because of avian flu, which is disappointing for all the hard work the organisers had put in. And then the second show was last year, and they're going for the third show this year. And as I say, it's at Grangemouth. I can't remember the exact address, so I do apologise about that. But 13th of October, you'll be able to find that on Facebook if you search Scotland's National Bird Club. And you'll see the show date on there. So, so that's the first one I'm going to enter. And then after that, I'm not going to show then until I think it is the Border Canary Association on the 2nd of November. I think I've got that right. And then on the 16th, 17th of November is the British Border. So I'll be going there. The Northern, which is the 24th of November, I'll be doing that one. 1st of December is the Border Fancy. I think the Border Fancy is the one that is going to be the international show this year. I think I've got that right. And that's up at Ford House. So, I'll be doing that one. And then my last one will be the Cumbria, which is kind of like my home show. And that's on the 8th of December. So, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shows. I think it is this year I'm doing. So I'm really looking forward to having a go with them. So, but anyway, that's pretty much it for today, really. I hope everything's going well with you and your birds. I hope you've had a good breeding season. And I hope your birds are starting to come out of the molt now and are looking good for you. You can never really tell, can you, until you get to this stage. As I showed you earlier, I've already had one that looked good and now looks rubbish, and then one that looked rubbish and now I'm quite hopeful for. So you never know, do you, what you're going to get. But anyway, I hope everything's okay with you all. As I always say on my videos, keep on birding, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.